So why did he need a black director? Could a white director not have
It's not
produced this
color,
work?
it's culture.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it.
We all imagine celebrities living in massive mansions, driving fancy cars, and spending money like there's no tomorrow, right? Well, what if I told you that some of the biggest names in Hollywood choose to live completely different lifestyles? Today, we're counting down 19 black actors who have made it big in Hollywood but choose to keep their lifestyles surprisingly simple. 1. Dave Chappelle.
New white people, you can't scare these white people. I tried. Roll up on them, boo! The hell is wrong with you?
Dave Chappelle is comedy royalty. After walking away from a $50 million deal with Comedy Central back in 2005, many people thought he was crazy. But Dave knew something that most people don't understand. Money isn't everything if it costs you your peace of mind and your soul. Today, Dave lives on a 65-acre farm in Yellow Springs, Ohio. Not Los Angeles, not New York, not Miami. A small town in Ohio with a population of less than 4,000 people. His farm is his sanctuary, and he lives there with his family away from the Hollywood spotlight. You won't see Dave at fancy Hollywood parties or driving expensive supercars. Instead, he's often spotted around his small town, hanging out at the local coffee shop, chatting with neighbors, and living a remarkably normal life. The people in Yellow Springs protect his privacy and treat him like any other resident, which is exactly what he wants. Dave's home is nice, but not extravagant by celebrity standards. He values his land, his space, and his peace over material possessions. He's often seen wearing simple clothes, nothing flashy or designer. He drives regular cars and doesn't feel the need to prove his wealth to anyone. What makes Dave's story so powerful is that he literally walked away from tens of millions of dollars because he refused to compromise his values and artistic integrity. He didn't need the money badly enough to sell out. He understood that true wealth is having control over your time, your creativity, and your life choices. 2. Tiffany Haddish.
Dress costs way more than my mortgage. This is Alexander McQueen, okay? It's a $4,000 dress. I'm gonna wear this dress multiple times.
Tiffany Haddish's story is both heartbreaking and inspiring. Before she became one of Hollywood's biggest comedic stars, Tiffany was homeless, living in her car. She's talked openly about those difficult times, and they've shaped how she views money and success today. Even after making it big with movies like Girls Trip and landing major deals, Tiffany has kept her humble lifestyle. For years after becoming famous, she continued living in the same small apartment she had before her big break. She didn't immediately rush out to buy a mansion just because she could afford one. Tiffany is famous for re-wearing outfits, which is pretty much unheard of for celebrities. Remember that stunning white Alexander McQueen dress she wore to the Oscars? She wore it again and again. She even talked about it on social media, saying she spent good money on that dress and was going to get her money's worth. That's the kind of practical thinking most celebrities don't have. She drives modest cars and has talked about her habit of shopping at discount stores. She's not embarrassed about being frugal because she remembers what it's like to have nothing. Those days of being homeless taught her never to take anything for granted and to save money for the future. Tiffany has also been incredibly generous with her money, helping family members and donating to causes she cares about. She knows what it's like to struggle, so when she sees others struggling, she helps when she can. 3. Tyler Perry.
But also to have generational wealth for my son and his children. And if they manage it right after I'm dead and gone.
Tyler Perry is a billionaire. Let me repeat that. A billionaire? This man has his own studio, produces countless shows and movies, and is one of the most powerful people in entertainment. Yet his lifestyle might surprise you. Tyler grew up homeless, living in his car while trying to make it as a playwright. Those experiences of poverty and struggle never left him. Even though he now has more money than most people could spend in several lifetimes, he lives relatively modestly compared to other billionaires. While Tyler does have nice properties, including his famous Atlanta mansion, he's not known for living extravagantly on a daily basis. He doesn't throw his wealth around or flaunt it unnecessarily. He's more focused on building his empire and creating opportunities for others than on buying expensive toys. Tyler is incredibly generous with his money. He's paid off people's mortgages, bought groceries for entire stores full of shoppers, given cars to those in need, and donated millions to various causes. During the pandemic, he quietly helped countless people struggling financially. He understands that having wealth means having the power to change lives, and he takes that responsibility seriously. He's also known for being hands-on with his work. Despite being a billionaire, Tyler still writes, directs, produces, and sometimes acts in his projects. He could easily just sit back and collect checks, but he stays involved because he's passionate about his craft and maintaining quality control over his brand. 4. Whoopi Goldberg.
I'm proud of you, Oda Mae.
You know something, Sam? I don't care if you're proud of me. You stay away from me from now on. What is that nut gonna do with it? She can't even buy underwear, nothing. I hate you. Leave me alone. Never talk to me again.
Whoopi Goldberg is an EGOT winner. That means she's won an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Award. She's entertainment royalty and has been famous for decades. But if you met her on the street, you might not even realize she's a multimillionaire. Whoopi is known for her no-nonsense approach to fashion and lifestyle. She doesn't care about designer clothes or what people think she should wear. On The View, you'll often see her in comfortable clothes, sometimes even in sweatpants or simple outfits. She's not trying to impress anyone, and she's comfortable enough in her own skin not to care about fashion police or critics. She's talked about living modestly and not spending money on things she doesn't need. Whoopi values experiences and comfort over expensive possessions. She's also been vocal about financial responsibility, encouraging people to save money and not live beyond their means just to keep up appearances. What's interesting about Whoopi is that she came from nothing. She grew up in a housing project in Manhattan, struggled as a single mother, and even lived on welfare at one point. Those experiences taught her the value of money and the importance of not taking success for granted. Despite her wealth, Whoopi maintains relatively simple tastes. She's not known for collecting expensive cars or jewelry. She doesn't need to prove her success through material possessions because her achievements speak for themselves. She's more interested in her work, her activism, and living life on her own terms. 5. Denzel Washington.
You know, I have a God-fearing, loving, faithful wife who has taught me so much about family. I'm from a broken home.
Denzel Washington is arguably one of the greatest actors of all time. He's won multiple Oscars, commands huge salaries, and is respected worldwide. Yet Denzel lives a surprisingly low-key lifestyle that focuses on family, faith, and staying grounded. Denzel has been married to the same woman, Pauletta, since 1983. In Hollywood, where marriages often don't last, this is remarkable. They live in a nice home, but nothing overly extravagant compared to other A-list stars. Family is clearly more important to Denzel than flashy possessions or the Hollywood party scene. You rarely see Denzel at celebrity events unless he's promoting a movie or receiving an award. He's not trying to be seen at every party or hotspot. He values his privacy and his family time. He's also deeply religious, and his faith keeps him humble and focused on what truly matters in life. Denzel drives regular cars and doesn't flaunt his wealth. He's been spotted in normal clothing, shopping at regular stores, and living like an everyday person when he's not working. He doesn't need the validation of expensive things because he's secure in who he is and what he's accomplished. He's also known for being incredibly generous, often giving money to churches, schools, and various charities. He's donated millions to educational institutions and programs that help underprivileged youth. He understands the platform and resources he has, and he uses them to make a real difference. 6. Lupita Nyong'o.
Don't burn our house down.
Lupita Nyong'o won an Oscar for her very first movie role. Since then, she's been in major blockbusters like Black Panther and has become a fashion icon. But despite her success, Lupita maintains a remarkably grounded approach to wealth and fame. Lupita grew up in Kenya, and her upbringing taught her values that she still holds dear today. She's talked about the importance of staying connected to her roots and not letting Hollywood success change her fundamentally. She regularly visits Kenya and stays involved with her family and community there. While Lupita does wear stunning designer gowns on red carpets, she's a brand ambassador for some luxury brands, her everyday life is much more modest. She's been spotted using public transportation, shopping at regular stores, and living in a relatively modest apartment in Brooklyn for years, even after becoming a major star. What's interesting about Lupita is her perspective on wealth. She said in interviews that she doesn't define success by money, but by the quality of work she does and the impact she makes. She chooses roles based on artistic merit, not just the biggest paycheck. This shows a maturity and wisdom that many actors twice her age don't have. Lupita is also very conscious about using her platform for good. She's an advocate for various causes, including education, women's rights, and wildlife conservation. She puts her money where her mouth is, supporting organizations and causes that align with her values. 7. Idris Elba.
My dad was like, look, you know, great, you want to be an actor, that's great, but most actors don't work. And he was right. You know, there's a statistic that's like, 80% of actors are unemployed.
Idris Elba is a global superstar. He's been James Bond material, plays tough guys in action movies, and is considered one of the sexiest men alive. But Idris hasn't let fame and fortune go to his head. He remains remarkably down to earth and connected to his working-class roots. Idris grew up in a rough part of London, the son of immigrant parents. Before making it as an actor, he worked regular jobs, including stints at a tire shop and even sold weed to make ends meet. He's been open about his struggles and has never forgotten where he came from. Even with his success, Idris maintains a relatively modest lifestyle. While he has nice things, he's not known for excessive spending or showing off his wealth. He still visits his old neighborhood in London, maintains friendships from before he was famous, and stays connected to his community. Idris has talked about the importance of financial responsibility and not blowing money just because you have it. He's invested in business ventures and is building long-term wealth rather than spending everything on temporary pleasures. He's thinking about generational wealth and creating something lasting. He's also deeply committed to giving back, particularly to communities in Africa. He's worked with the United Nations, supports various charities, and uses his platform to raise awareness about important issues. He understands that success comes with responsibility. 8. Octavia Spencer.
I also had a very strong mom
Right.
who made me and my sisters understand that there were no limitations on our lives except what we placed on ourselves.
Octavia Spencer is an Oscar-winning actress who worked for years before getting her big break. She was in her 40s when she finally achieved mainstream success, and that journey taught her valuable lessons about money and fame. Octavia is known for being incredibly practical with her money. She's talked about still clipping coupons and looking for deals even after becoming successful. Some people might think that's strange for a millionaire actress, but Octavia sees it as common sense. Why pay full price when you don't have to? She lived in a modest home for years after her Oscar win, not rushing to buy a mansion just because she could. When she finally did upgrade her living situation, she chose something nice but not ridiculously extravagant. She values comfort and functionality over showing off. Octavia is also famous for shopping at Target and other regular stores. She's been spotted there multiple times, and she's not embarrassed about it at all. She doesn't feel the need to shop exclusively at high-end boutiques just because she's a celebrity. If she can find what she needs at Target, why go anywhere else? Her approach to fashion is also refreshingly practical. While she looks beautiful on red carpets, she's admitted that she often rents dresses or works with brands rather than buying expensive gowns she'll only wear once. She thinks it's wasteful to spend thousands on dresses you'll wear for a few hours. Octavia is generous with her money, supporting various causes and helping friends and family when needed. But she's not careless with it. She saves, invests, and plans for the future because she knows that acting careers can be unpredictable. 9. Michael B. Jordan.
Like, I'm not going to trick off my early years for partying and then worry about struggling, how I'm going to make it, how I'm going to take care of my family, how I'm going to take care of everybody else. Like, that's not going to be me. I'm going to grind it out now. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to set up the foundation so I can enjoy myself later. That's always been my mentality.
Michael B. Jordan is one of Hollywood's biggest leading men right now. From Creed to Black Panther, he's commanding huge paychecks and could easily be living an extravagant lifestyle. But Michael has remained surprisingly grounded considering his level of fame. Michael still lives with his parents. Yes, you heard that right. This multimillionaire actor has chosen to buy a house where he lives with his mother and father. He's talked about how important family is to him and how he wants to take care of his parents who supported him when he was struggling. This decision says so much about Michael's character and values. In a culture that often emphasizes independence and living large, Michael chose family connection over having his own bachelor pad. He could buy multiple mansions, but he'd rather share space with the people who matter most to him. Michael is also known for being smart with his money. He's invested in various business ventures and is building wealth beyond just his acting career. He's thinking long-term and creating multiple income streams rather than just spending everything he makes. While Michael does enjoy some nice things, he's not excessive about them. He works hard, and when he does splurge, it's on meaningful experiences or things he genuinely values. He's not buying stuff just to show off or keep up with other celebrities. He's also passionate about giving back, particularly to communities that look like him. He's used his platform and resources to support various causes and organizations that help underprivileged youth. He remembers that he could have easily been one of those kids who didn't make it out, so he helps whenever he can. 10. Viola Davis.
They don't care nothing about me. All they want is my voice.
Viola Davis is one of the most respected actresses in Hollywood. She's won an Oscar, Emmy, and Tony Award, making her one of the few people to achieve this incredible feat. But Viola has never forgotten her humble beginnings, and it shows in how she lives today. Viola grew up in extreme poverty. She's talked openly about growing up hungry, living in rat-infested apartments, and experiencing homelessness. These experiences left a mark on her, and even with all her success, she's never forgotten what it's like to have nothing. Today, while Viola lives comfortably, she's not known for excessive spending or flaunting her wealth. She's more focused on her craft, her family, and using her platform to advocate for important causes. She and her husband adopted a daughter, and family is clearly more important to her than material possessions. Viola has talked about the importance of financial security, especially for Black women in Hollywood who often face pay inequality. She's been vocal about getting paid what she's worth, but also about being smart with money and not living beyond her means. She's incredibly generous, supporting organizations that fight hunger and poverty. Given her own experiences with hunger as a child, this cause is deeply personal to her. She puts her money where her heart is, helping ensure other children don't go through what she experienced. What makes Viola's story so powerful is how she's used her painful past as motivation to help others. She doesn't just talk about poverty and struggle abstractly. She's lived it, survived it, and now uses her resources to fight it. Up next, we've got some more incredible actors who are proving that you don't need to spend money like crazy to be successful and happy. Trust me, these next few are going to inspire you even more. 11. Anthony Mackie.
I got it. You ever see a guy this handsome walk in the streets, he's gonna get arrested because he's killing all the ladies. Look at that. Pow, 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 pow.
Anthony Mackie, known for playing Falcon in the Marvel movies, is a New Orleans native who has stayed true to his roots despite his Hollywood success. His approach to wealth and fame is refreshingly different from many of his peers. Anthony still lives in New Orleans, not Los Angeles or New York. He chose to raise his family in his hometown, away from the Hollywood spotlight. This decision alone shows what his priorities are: family, community, and staying grounded over being in the center of the entertainment industry. He's been vocal about living modestly and not needing to show off his wealth. In interviews, he's talked about driving regular cars and living in a nice but not extravagant home. He doesn't feel pressure to live up to any celebrity standards because he's secure in who he is. What's particularly interesting about Anthony is his perspective on fame. He's said that he doesn't want his kids growing up in Hollywood culture, where everything is about image and materialism. He wants them to have normal childhoods with real friends and real experiences, not the artificial bubble that celebrity kids often grow up in. Anthony is also involved in his local community in New Orleans. He supports local businesses and causes, and he's used his platform to bring attention to issues affecting his city, particularly after Hurricane Katrina and subsequent disasters. He's invested his money wisely, including in real estate and other ventures. He's building wealth smartly, rather than spending it on fleeting luxuries. He understands that acting careers don't last forever, so he's planning for long-term financial security. 12. Regina King.
I got 2 kids, no degree. So it doesn't make me particularly hot on the dating circuit.
Regina King is Hollywood royalty. With an Emmy, Oscar, and decades of respected work, she's at the top of her profession. But Regina has maintained a remarkably grounded lifestyle that prioritizes substance over flash. Regina grew up in Los Angeles, but in a working-class family, not the glamorous side of Hollywood. She started acting as a child and has worked consistently for over 30 years. This long journey in the industry has taught her the importance of financial responsibility and not taking success for granted. She's known for being private about her personal life and not flaunting her wealth on social media or in public. While she looks stunning at events, her day-to-day life is much more low-key. She's focused on her work, her family, and maintaining her integrity in an industry that often pressures people to compromise. Regina has been a single mother and has talked about the responsibility of raising her son. Sadly, he passed away in 2022, and making sure he had the right values despite growing up with a famous mother. She didn't spoil him or let him develop a sense of entitlement. She wanted him to understand the value of hard work and humility. She's also known for supporting and mentoring younger actors, particularly women and people of color. She uses her position of influence to open doors for others rather than just climbing the ladder and forgetting those coming behind her. Regina's approach to wealth is practical and forward-thinking. She invests in property and makes smart financial decisions. She's building generational wealth while also supporting causes she believes in. She understands that real success is about creating lasting impact, not just accumulating possessions. 13. Sterling K. Brown.
Wow. Oh my goodness. My family's going to flip.
Sterling K. Brown, the Emmy and Golden Globe winning star of This Is Us, is one of the most talented actors working today. But despite his success, Sterling lives a surprisingly normal life, focused on family and staying grounded. Sterling often talks about his wife and kids in interviews, and it's clear that family is his top priority. He's not out at Hollywood parties or trying to be seen at all the hottest spots. He'd rather be home with his wife and children, living a normal family life. He's been married to actress Ryan Michelle Bathe since 2007, and they've built a stable, loving family together. In Hollywood, where relationships often crumble under the pressure of fame, Sterling and Ryan's marriage is refreshingly solid. They prioritize their relationship and their kids over the glitz and glamour of celebrity life. Sterling is known for being humble and kind to everyone he meets. Despite his Emmy wins and major roles, he hasn't developed an ego or attitude. He treats crew members, fans, and fellow actors with equal respect. This speaks to his character and the values he holds dear. He's also talked about financial responsibility and making smart decisions with money. He didn't come from wealth, and he knows how quickly fortunes can change in Hollywood. He saves, invests, and plans for his family's future rather than spending carelessly. Sterling is involved in various charitable causes, particularly those related to education and supporting Black communities. He uses his platform to amplify important messages and support organizations doing meaningful work. 14. Angela Bassett.
I'll give up all that other stuff, but only if I get to keep my name. I worked too hard for it.
Angela Bassett is a legend. From Tina Turner to Black Panther's Queen Ramonda, she's delivered iconic performances for decades. At 66 years old, she's still working hard and staying grounded despite her long and successful career. Angela has been married to actor Courtney B. Vance since 1997. Like Sterling K. Brown, she's maintained a stable marriage in an industry where that's incredibly rare. She and Courtney have raised twins together and have always prioritized family over the Hollywood party scene. Angela is known for her incredible work ethic and discipline. She maintains her amazing physique, not through expensive trainers and procedures, though she likely has access to those, but through consistent hard work and dedication. She's talked about working out regularly and eating healthy, showing that taking care of yourself doesn't have to be about expensive solutions. She's not known for excessive spending or showing off wealth. Instead, she's focused on her craft, her family, and building a lasting legacy in film and television. She chooses roles carefully, prioritizing quality over just big paychecks. Angela has also been vocal about pay equality in Hollywood and ensuring that Black actresses, especially Black women over 40, get paid what they deserve. She's fought for herself and others, understanding that financial fairness is important even if you're not motivated primarily by money. She's involved in various charitable organizations and uses her platform to advocate for causes she believes in. She understands that with success comes the responsibility to give back and help others. 15. Chadwick Boseman.
We must find a way to look after one another as if we were one single tribe.
Though we tragically lost Chadwick Boseman in 2020, his approach to life and wealth deserves recognition. Chadwick became a global superstar with Black Panther, but he never let fame change his humble nature. Even after becoming one of the biggest stars in the world, Chadwick lived modestly. He didn't buy extravagant mansions or fill his garage with expensive cars. He lived in a relatively modest home and focused on his work and his relationships rather than accumulating possessions. What's remarkable about Chadwick is that he was fighting cancer during the height of his fame, and almost nobody knew. He kept this private battle to himself, continuing to work and inspire others while dealing with something incredibly difficult. This shows the kind of person he was: private, strong, and focused on his purpose rather than seeking sympathy or attention. Chadwick was known for his generosity. He quietly helped people financially, visited sick children in hospitals, and used his platform to inspire and uplift others. He understood that his fame and wealth were opportunities to make a positive impact, and he took that responsibility seriously. He was also deeply committed to telling important stories about Black history and culture. He chose roles like Jackie Robinson, James Brown, Thurgood Marshall, and T'Challa, not just for the paychecks, but because he wanted to honor these figures and educate audiences. Chadwick never flaunted his wealth or fame. He carried himself with dignity and grace, staying true to his values until the end. Even while battling terminal cancer, he continued working, giving his all to his roles and inspiring millions. 16. Forrest Whitaker.
I want to promise you, this will be a government of action, not of words.
Forrest Whitaker is an Oscar-winning actor known for his intense and powerful performances. But off-screen, Forrest is one of the most humble and spiritual people in Hollywood. Forrest has always lived relatively modestly compared to other actors of his caliber. While he has a nice home, he's not known for extravagant spending or showing off his wealth. He's more interested in personal growth, spirituality, and making a difference in the world than in accumulating luxury items. He's deeply spiritual and has studied various philosophies and practices over the years. This spiritual grounding has kept him humble and focused on what truly matters in life. He understands that material wealth is temporary and that real fulfillment comes from within and from helping others. Forrest is incredibly involved in humanitarian work, particularly in Africa. He founded the Whitaker Peace and Development Initiative, which works to empower youth in underserved communities around the world. He doesn't just write checks, he's personally involved in this work, traveling to these communities and engaging directly with the people he's helping. He's also known for being kind and respectful to everyone. Despite his success, he's never developed the ego or attitude that sometimes comes with fame. Crew members and fellow actors consistently praise him for his humility and kindness on set. 17. Taraji P. Henson.
And I'm just supposed to smile and grin and bear it and just keep, like, enough is enough. This industry, if you let it, it'll steal your soul.
Taraji P. Henson, known for her powerhouse performances in Empire and countless films, has always been refreshingly real about money, struggle, and staying grounded despite success. Taraji came from humble beginnings in Washington, D.C., and worked extremely hard to make it in Hollywood. She's been open about her financial struggles early in her career, including times when she couldn't afford proper childcare for her son. Those experiences shaped how she views money and success. Even after becoming a major star, Taraji has maintained a practical approach to spending. She's talked about shopping at discount stores and looking for deals. She doesn't feel the need to spend money just because she has it. She'd rather save and invest wisely than waste money trying to look rich. Taraji has been incredibly vocal about pay inequality in Hollywood, particularly for black women. She's walked away from projects that didn't pay her what she's worth, and she's encouraged other actresses to do the same. She understands that fighting for fair pay isn't about greed, it's about respect and equity. She's also generous with her money, supporting her family and various causes. She started the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation, named after her late father, which focuses on mental health awareness in the black community. She puts real money and effort into this cause because it matters to her. What makes Taraji so relatable is her honesty. She doesn't pretend to have always made perfect financial decisions. She's talked about mistakes she's made and lessons she's learned. This authenticity makes her someone people can connect with and learn from. 18. Mahershala Ali.
What do we do about the bones? We do this.
Mahershala Ali is a two-time Oscar winner, making him one of the most respected actors working today. But despite his incredible success, Mahershala lives a remarkably private and modest life. Mahershala didn't become famous until later in his career, which gave him the perspective that many young stars don't have. He worked as a struggling actor for years, so when success finally came, he appreciated it, but didn't let it change him fundamentally. He's extremely private about his personal life, rarely posting on social media or seeking attention outside of his work. He's not trying to be a celebrity influencer or build a brand beyond his acting. He lets his work speak for itself, and that's refreshing in an age where many actors are constantly seeking attention. Mahershala is Muslim, and his faith plays a significant role in keeping him grounded. He's talked about how his spiritual beliefs help him maintain perspective on fame and wealth. He understands that these things are temporary and that what really matters is how you treat others and the legacy you leave. He lives modestly compared to other two-time Oscar winners. While he has a nice home, he's not known for excessive spending or accumulating luxury items. He's more interested in quality time with his family and doing meaningful work than in showing off his wealth. Mahershala is also thoughtful about the roles he takes. He chooses projects based on artistic merit and whether they tell important stories, not just on the size of the paycheck. This shows a maturity and integrity that's admirable. 19. Daniel Kaluuya.
Deputy Chairman Fred Hampton of the Illinois Black Panther Party.
Daniel Kaluuya burst onto the scene with Get Out and has since become one of Hollywood's most sought-after actors. But despite his rapid rise to fame, Daniel has kept his feet firmly on the ground. Daniel grew up in a council estate in London, which is essentially public housing. He came from very modest means, and those experiences shaped his perspective on money and success. He's talked about how his upbringing taught him the value of hard work and not taking anything for granted. Even after winning an Oscar and commanding major salaries, Daniel hasn't changed his fundamental lifestyle. He still goes back to London regularly, maintains his friendships from before he was famous, and stays connected to his community. He hasn't forgotten where he came from or the eBay people who supported him along the way. Daniel is known for being thoughtful and introspective. He's not out at every party or trying to be seen everywhere. He's more interested in his craft and in telling important stories than in the celebrity lifestyle. He takes his work seriously and chooses roles that challenge him and have something meaningful to say. He's also been smart about his money, investing wisely and thinking about long-term security rather than just spending on temporary luxuries. He understands that acting careers can be unpredictable, especially for Black British actors trying to make it in Hollywood. Daniel uses his platform to speak on important issues, particularly racism and inequality. He doesn't just enjoy his success, he feels a responsibility to speak up and make a difference. What do you think? Are you surprised by any of the names on this list? Do you know of any other celebrities who live surprisingly modest lifestyles? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you learned something new today or found this video inspiring, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss our content.